I am Catrina Latrice Williams, and I have my lovely sister here with me.
Kimberly and Skipwith.
We wanted to come to y'all today about a very powerful story about your health and about support in your life. Myself, I am now fighting cancer for the second time in my life. I was diagnosed with cancer at 1.5 years old, a baby. Now, I don't remember everything, so I can't really tell you my experience then, but I will have others to share that story in the future. But I have now been diagnosed with cancer for a second time at 34 years old, and we have a very powerful story to share with you. Now, first thing first, even though I was a cancer survivor and I was cured in 1985, basically by the time I turned like 2.5 years old, in middle school and high school is when the side effects of having chemo really affected me. What I mean by side effects is the emotional drainage that it did to me. Now, a lot of my family don't know what I went through. They always wondered things, but first, I never shared with my classmates, with friends, about me being a cancer survivor. And the reason why is I just felt shame. I felt like I wasn't going to be included if I would have told them that I was a cancer survivor. And it was plenty days that I used to come to my sister about things. It's just, me and her have been very, very close for a long time. She has been my inspiration a lot. Now, my mom, she is a warrior. She has been a nurse for over 20, 30 years, and she really took care of me when it came to making sure my health was okay. Nobody smoked around me. But my sister here can share with you all some of the things that I went through in middle school and high school, and, the things she used to tell me. And Kim, I'll let you share with them. One of the main things that I used to do.
A main thing that she used to do that I used to talk to her about was she used to wear a jacket all year round. Like, it would literally be 100 degrees outside and she'll have on a jacket. And she used to say that, she was ashamed. And I used to tell her, like, Trina, don't worry about what people think about you, Don't worry about what they're going to say about you. And over time, she did eventually get rid of the jacket, but she had it for years. And nobody ever knew but me.
Yeah, pretty much towards the end of high school, I always wore the jacket because, see, I wanted to hide my scars that I received after chemo. Chemo pretty much dripped on me a lot. Like, if you look at my wrist, it's all between my arms. And I was ashamed because I thought that students would actually make fun of me, that they would probably say, oh, she's on drugs, or she's been on the needle, or whatever. And, of course, they had to stick me plenty of times, and it really affected me. And I just didn't know what to expect, or how my friends would actually take it. I didn't know if they would accept me. So that is one thing that I would recommend parents that have children that have been cured of cancer, or they're currently going through it, to let them know you are loved, you are accepted regardless. And of course, my family loved me to the utmost, but it was just something within me that was still bothering me, and I just didn't know how to handle it. But thankfully, my sister always, inspired me and said, Trina, who cares? Who cares? And because she kept saying that, she never got frustrated with me. She kept inspiring me. I sooner or later finally recognized and understood, you know what, who cares what anybody thinks of me? I'm going to start sharing my story because it's somebody out there, heart that I can touch. It's somebody out there that I can encourage to let them know it's okay to be a cancer survivor. So that was one of the main things that really affected me as a child growing up in middle school and high school. Now, another thing, how I started pretty much this new process of being diagnosed with cancer. Oh my goodness, it's been a long journey. We're going to tell you about it. But in August of 2016, I started feeling minor aches in my legs, as well as aches in the areas that I had cancer when I was a baby. And I didn't really think anything of it. Me and my sister actually thought that it was a female situation that I was going through. Because, cancer, chemotherapy, and radiation can really delay a lot of your body changes in life. I didn't grow up like the average person, but see, I tried so long to be the average person, and I finally understand now that I am special. I'm one of a kind. And any one of you that's going through cancer, you've been diagnosed with some kind of disease or just hurting in some sort of pain, you are special. You are someone that God truly, truly loves, and you have to stay strong. But in August 2016, I started off with minor aches and pains. And, you know, I've always been independent and very strong-minded because that's how my mom taught us. And I'm very thankful for that. And I waited for so long to finally go to the doctor. It took me to go to the doctor around January, February sometime. And I'm gonna let my sister tell you all the reason why I didn't go to the doctor like that.
She didn't go to the doctor because she didn't like being on medicine. She was on a lot of medicine over the year, when she was a baby. So she didn't like taking a lot of medicine, and she thought that the doctors would just stick her on medicine. So she never go.
Yes.
It was bad.
And what you all had to do to me
We had
to get me to go.
We had to force her to come home and beg her to come home. I told her I was coming to get her, and
you had to beg me to go to the emergency room.
Yeah,
plenty of times.
Plenty of times. All the time we had to beg her to go.
Yeah, I mean, almost, you might as well say, because we got out on our own when I was 18. I was very
16.
mature. And my mom trusted and just had faith that we would be okay, and we was okay. So from the age of 18 to about 33 years old, all I had to do was just go to my regular checkups every year, you know, your yearly exam. I didn't have to go to the doctor. And so it kind of bothered me to say, oh, I need to go to the emergency room. You know, I just didn't believe in my mind I needed to go. But January, I actually went to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for a 5-year checkup. And what I do is help them to see what they did to me to help future children in the future. Well, I let them know, and they told me to come back to South Carolina at the time when I was in South Carolina and let my primary doctor check up on me. Well, I ended up going to 4 different emergency rooms. I went to like 2 or 3 different doctors, and all of them said, oh, Miss Williams, you're perfectly fine.
Yep.
Nothing is wrong with you. They would end up giving me medicine, and my pain actually got worse and worse to the point to where I could barely walk at times. When I had my cleaning business for 10 years, and I started realizing that I was forced to go and sit down at my client's house, and I'm not that type of person. I will clean up for 4 hours straight just to make sure that my client house is clean. And they knew I was a dedicated person. And it got to that point to where I could barely move. That's how much pain I was in. So I had to end up letting my cleaning business go. I mean, I had shortness of breath many of times. You know, my leg ached so bad to where I couldn't even drive.
They had to call the ambulance.
Yes. One time, and I still didn't go to the emergency room.
No, she still didn't go.
But I ended up going afterwards because my mom and my sister ended up begging me to go. And it still got worse over time. I mean, it's so many aches and pains that I went through, excruciating aches and pains. My husband, shout out to Ron, DJ Ninja, you know, it was plenty of times he didn't know what to do because he tried to massage my leg and different things like that, but it hurted so bad to where nobody could touch me. That's how much pain I was in. And so I had to end up leaving my home in South Carolina because the pain got so bad. I said, something has to give. And my sister here, she was going to come on her birthday to leave out to come get me. But I couldn't wait because I was in so much pain. So this is what I did. I was already in a lot of pain. I was literally in pain probably 3 or 4 times a day. The pain would come out the blue. You never know where it would come. It got to the point to where I said, Kim, I am leaving today.
Yeah.
Early in the morning, I end up leaving. And before I left, I prayed to God. I mean, the the prayer was so powerful to the point to where I had to drive 10 hours from Goose Creek, South Carolina to Memphis, Tennessee. And you would be amazed. God was there with me every step of the way. I made sure I had to, take breaks often when I normally don't take breaks, because, when we start something, we don't like to just stop. We're going to finish it. I would barely take breaks when it comes to traveling, only gas breaks. But this time, God just told me, he said, Trina, let me help you. Don't try to do everything by yourself anymore. Your strength is starting to leave you. I have given you enough strength, but it's time for you to trust in me. And I tell you, from 10 hours, I was able to end up getting home safe and sound. But guess what? By the time I got home, we're just about done. By the time I got to my mom's house, that's when I finally realized how sick I was. That's when I finally realized that I don't need to be doing a lot of sitting. I don't need to actually not sitting. I don't need to be doing a lot of standing. I don't need to be doing a lot of walking. I don't need to be driving at all. And I don't need to let anything stress me out. I need to be aware of what I eat. And I didn't recognize that when I was home. Now, I got better with my eating, but all the other things, I was doing too much, right, Kim? Because we're strong individuals. My mom taught us to be strong. And I was like, oh my goodness, how did I go through so much pain? I'm telling y'all, when I was in South Carolina, it was times I felt like I was going to die, and I'm not lying to you. It felt like my breath was going to be taken from me and was not going to come back. That's how much pain I was in. Well, when I got here, I was going to bed 6 and 7 o'clock in the evening because I was in that much pain. I wasn't even able to be around a lot of noise. I would end up going in the room because it was just too much for me. So my mom one day finally begged me to go back to the emergency room in Memphis. And she said, Trina, I'm telling you, you go to the emergency room, they're going to help you. So I trusted my mom. I said, okay, let's go, because I'm in too much pain and I can't take it anymore. Well, the same day we went to the emergency room, I ended up getting admitted into the hospital, and that's when I was diagnosed with cancer. And we stayed positive. We end up just saying, you know what, it's not cancer. I'm going to be okay. God had the last say-so. Only God had the last say-so. And so now I've been going through the treatments, chemotherapy, and after my first treatment, it was excruciating. I was still in a lot of pain. It got so painful, I was admitted into the hospital again. And my sister here, my mom, she ended up taking me back to the emergency room. It was to the point to where it felt like labor contractions, right? I mean, I had to end up all type of things. I end up going through getting constipated. I end up having a bad feeling of nausea. I end up having a infection in my bloodstream. My doctor also told me that my liver was affected in some kind of way. It was so many different side effects that affected me to the point to where I was still strong. We were strong. My family was strong. My Facebook family, social media family has been strong for me. And my sister here can let you know what I experienced when I was admitted the second time around. She was there.
Yeah, it was bad. It was excruciating pain. It was horrible. I almost cursed the doctors out. Sorry, Trina.
Well, it was to the point to where I had to end up going back and forth to the bathroom throughout the night. I mean, we was up all night long. And, we was just very emotional. I was hurting. My family don't like to see me hurt. And that's why we are encouraging you today. If you know someone, have a loved one that's going through cancer, a disease, or, something painful, or you are going through it, you have to stay strong. You have to stay positive. Be around positive people, people that love you and willing to help you. Because right now in my life, I cannot be around a lot of noise. I can't be around any type of smoke. It's so much that I can't do. I can't drive. I can't even really get up on my own to make breakfast here and there. I can't do a lot of walking. If I do too much walking, I will be in excruciating pain. So it's very important for you to take care of yourself and really focus on your health, because a lot of times we don't focus on our health anymore. right, Kim? So we have to take care of one another. And so I even got to the point to where I have, I'm excited and I'm thankful to be able to speak up, because it was times I've been very shy, right? And my sister, my mom, they had to speak up for me on a lot of things.
She's doing better.
Yeah, I'm doing
She's gotten a
much
whole lot better.
Yes, yes, yes. And it's all because we are staying strong. So at the end of the day, I just want y'all to be encouraged. I want y'all to be strong. I want you to know that everything will work out for the good. Think positive. And another thing, if your doctor prescribed you with some kind of medication, take it. If you're in pain, take it. 'Cause my sister here can tell you.
She don't take pain medicine, and now she does, but before it was hard.
And I know why. They end up telling me that my tumor had got bigger after I got my first treatment. I'm like, how my tumor got bigger when I'm taking treatments? I don't understand. The doctor told me, you have to make sure you take your medicine. My mom told me plenty of times. My sister, my family said, take your medication. But because I despised medicine from so much medicine I took from back in the day, I did not want to take it. But I understand now. You have to take medication because otherwise your pain will feed whatever it is that you're going through. And my pain fed my tumor. It ended up getting inflamed and got bigger. And so now that I understand that, I take my medicine when I need to. And I encourage you to make sure you listen to your doctors, you listen to your family. But at the end of the day, if it's negative news, stay strong, stand firm, and be positive, because God only has the last say so. So, in final, I just want you all to know that God loves you. Anyone can get diagnosed with cancer. Anyone can get diagnosed with some kind of disease. So take care of yourself and make sure you stay positive, stay strong, and keep the faith. My name is Catrina Latrice Williams. This is my lovely sister Kimberly Ann Skipwith. We thank you all so much for your time. If this video helped you or encourage you, definitely share it. And also, I have a GoFundMe for it. You can find it at the bottom of this video. It's gofundme.com/Catrina illness, and that's Catrina with a C. But once again, you can check it right below this video. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
Thank you all.